تني أبكي أنت بنيوتث أو بنزين كونس أفا بولنس بيم بسكو بونسم شوم أوين زاري همون ناني بيكو
إلهي سوني ماس أوسي أوسو باتيرو بانتوكراتور شو بني من أمين. Lord have mercy, Lord have mercy, Lord bless us, Amen. Lord, all of us felt we are in heaven. Always you want to keep us in heaven. You know, only our heart feel comfort, Lord. Feel joy in heaven. And you know how much the war of devil to take us down, Lord, in a world full of evil, problems, challenges, Lord. But your presence always is a peaceful presence. Amazing, Lord, presence. Your will for us, Lord. Your dream for us to be always up. Always strong, always like reviving, and always like shining, Lord. We are here for that, Lord. To remind us about our destination, our citizenship, Lord, as a heavenly people. Not allow the world, Lord, whatsoever, it smile to us or it's opening its arms for us to take us for himself. Because we are, Lord, for you only. From the time of baptism, time of commitment, from time we decided that life for us is Jesus Christ. We don't want to go down, Lord. Don't allow us to go down, Lord. If even our laziness, our weakness, Lord, if our negligence, Lord, can allow us, Lord, to go down. But we are here to revive us, to remind us, Lord, to wash us, that your Spirit can speak to our heart, can restore again that marriage, Lord, between us and you. We can't forget the most beautiful days in your heart, in your arms. We can't, Lord, forget the amazing days, Lord, where we could find all our joy, Lord, under your foot with Mary. We want always, Lord, to return back. First love and this commitment, this purity of heart, that always we can behold you, Lord, and catch you. Always to be visible in our life, and always your presence make difference in our life. I thank you, Lord, for the church, Habibi Abuna Abshoy, Abuna Paul, Abuna Anthony, Abuna Demetrius, bless them, and always I come to DC and see the churches, the fathers are blessed and growing and shining. And always we come here to see, Lord, the school of spirituality, and to see how much here is a hiding place to all our people all over the states, Lord, come here to find in DC all, Lord, love and care. Bless my Father, their great work, Lord. We are so much grateful to you and to them. Speak to our heart, Lord. Sure, you have message for us through love and care, Lord, through Spirit. Lead us that we can feel your presence, and your presence make difference in our life. So the Shalom Mother Virgin Mary and Saint Mark, Saint Mina, Saint Paul, Saint Timothy, all the saints, hear us praying to you, our Father who art in heaven. So happy to see the shining faces كده بتاع Washington كده. And always كده I come, and that remind me long history that I come for how many years? 15 years? أيوه. Always I come here to see كده shining faces كده. دايما احنا نقول كده DC is school of spirituality كده. And how much you love the Lord كده. How much you are fiery or no more fiery. Fiery or not fiery. Fiery or not fiery. Always fiery. أبونا بيقول it is hot. طيب أنا actually I stayed in my room كده praying and thinking what God wants me to speak about. بعدين كنت very much confused. Lord, I need message. I need message to speak to the people. The first, I will share with you. The first message I received when I was praying, relationship between suffering and the glory for the life of St. Paul. And if you go deep in the life of St. Paul, you discover two things moving with each other always. Suffering and groaning. The original word, it seems as if it is giving birth. But in the meantime, all the time he is confirming in 2 Corinthians 12 that was part of the glory of the Lord for him. When the Lord took him up to heaven. And I feel everywhere I go دلوقتي, I discover people groaning, people worried. Now I hate to go to Egypt. Everyone when I go to Egypt, طبعا for the last maybe 18 months, all the time when I go to Egypt, ask me the same question. Do you have vision about what's happening in Egypt? And the people there, every time they put a scenario for the story, what happened is not the same. And it came a time people couldn't understand what's happening. But it is the same. Glory of the Lord, power of the Lord. If we want to be in heaven, if we want to see or to experience the things which are heavenly, we should pay the price. Part of the glory is the thorn in the flesh. And believe me, with the economic crisis everywhere, the same principle is there. People ask me, what about future? And do you think things will be better? And the same answer again. If we want glory, if we want to be always in the presence of the Lord, we should pay the price. A thorn should be there in the flesh. And every time we try to complain or cry, God answers us. Because I'm worried about you from the high revelation, from the high blessing. So I kept for you what? This angel of devil to bring you down always. But I will not speak about that. Let us open Genesis 20. This is continuation of the story. And it say in the verse 1 that Abraham, what he did? He went to the south. يعني إيه? What's the meaning here? He went to the south. And Abraham went to the south. And when he went there, the first thing he did, he said about Sarah that she is his daughter. Sorry, his sister. Why he did that? يعني this time Abraham should be mature in his spirituality, in his faith. But when we go down, يعني part of God allow us to enter suffering that we have tendency to go down. We have tendency to find rest كده. We have tendency to throw all our weapons and be content of the slow life كده, or the weak life. And when that happened, God always what he did? He make us to feel what? Fearful or threatened. And when that happened, نعمل ايه? Try to find a human way of solving problems. I was sharing with the father yesterday about St. Paul. And I was saying, what difference between us and St. Paul? What difference? Yani St. Paul was all the time in challenges. But almost all the time he is up. All the time he is fiery. What difference تفتكروا؟ ايه رأيكم؟ Who can answer? أنا كان معيشة African gifts مش not too much. But for God's sake مش عارف فين بقى. What difference between us and St. Paul? مين يقول لي؟ مين شاطر يقول لي؟ Why he always keep on up كده? Always fiery. Everywhere he go and find fire and revival happen. What difference? مين شاطر يقول لي؟ Yes. How he could be courageous. But same question. يعني always we keep on fighting after a while نلاقي نفسنا ايه؟ got tired. But this man never got tired. How? Fighting everywhere. And in his last report to the leaders of the church in Acts 20, he said, the Spirit, he said, I'm going to Jerusalem. I don't know what would happen, but what I'm sure, the Spirit always telling me that hardship, suffering are waiting me everywhere. But how? If I know when I come here to DC, I will suffer. And after that, I go to New Jersey, I will suffer. Problems waiting me. And I go to Florida, I find another problem there. After a while, I say, I will not go. Khalas, I got tired. Not always I'm overstretched like that. But he was not overstretched, overstretched. Sorry. How he was always overstretched, but always happy. And go to encourage people. Even when he said that, people were crying and he was laughing. And saying, nothing that for me. Even my life is not precious to me. But how? If your life is not precious, what's precious to you? What's important? If I find my life is threatened and I will lose my life, what's remaining? Do you think that there is something will be remaining? How this man was like that? Who can tell me? Because we want to know this secret. Clear vision, طب شاطرة. How could he get this clear vision? Huh? طب who was? طب شاطر قوي. How he could understand? What was the image of Paul in his eyes? طيب شاطر قوي بس طيب good, very good, thank you. Who else want to answer? That's the first point. The first point, he took Paul as a human, whatsoever smart or fiery, and put it to the cross, crucified it. He said, I don't want Paul to lead anything. I don't trust Paul with all these achievements, with all this spirituality, with all this preaching, with all this knowledge in Christ. He took this Paul, and what he did, he could crucify it. I was asking, what's his identity? Second, if I crucify Paul, who will be remaining for me? How I serve, how I think, how I decide, how I lead. He was leading the world, the global church. How to lead the global church? What's the second point? شاطر قوي. Huh? What's faith بقى? Grace of God. What again? But he lost his life. How to lead? How to decide? If one sent a message, Paul, we have this problem. And they said, Paul is dead. Paul is dead. But we need decision. We need your opinion. As we said, what's happening in Egypt? Tell us. Explain to us. Paul is dead. Paul is dead. But we need. That's true. Great. Give him a big hand. Thank you. The second point he did, which extent I was sharing with the fathers yesterday, طبعا as usual أبونا بشوي كان inspiring us as usual, and he always speaks about the resurrection of Christ. He said, I am willingly crucify my opinion, my mind, my decisions, my dreams. I take everything, put it under the cross, that what I decide is only coming from the resurrected Jesus. I go to him and say, Lord, I'm foolish. I know nothing. I can't decide. I want the resurrected. I want the new life to be visible in my life. So everywhere he go, he faced problems, challenges. And he laughed and said, but Paul is dead. You can't do anything to Paul. And when he finds they're stretching all their arrows against him, say, but I'm dead. I'm no more there. I decided to crucify myself. But now he go to Jesus and kneel down and say, Lord, it is not against me. I decided no one can touch my honor or my name or my image, because already I consider all these things, as he wrote in Philippians 3, I consider all this gain is rubbish for me. I don't care. Let them say the worst against me. Let them spoil my name. Let them bury me. Already I'm willingly, I want to bury myself. So I don't care. Lord, I want you to be revealed in my life. I trust you. I need your decision. I need your inspiration. I trust you only, Lord. And that which keep him, and that would force the Lord. I will say it again for you. If you do like that, like St. Paul, you will force the Lord to open the line down to you and inspire and revive you and give you new revelation. Because now you said, I have nothing. I don't want to depend upon myself. I'm not smart. I'm the most foolish person, as Mansi said. I am the most sinful person, Lord. If you allow me to lead this giant, glorious, global church, I will destroy it. I don't want now. I want to crucify myself. Can you lead me? Can you inspire me? Can you give me extra power? Can you give me extra like guidance? And the God always, when we do like that, we force God to say, yes, I will give you. I will inspire you. I will lead you. I will give you extra power. I give you unlimited joy. And that, in this, look, the most hardest time when we enter in this experience of death. But I tell you something else. The most glorious time when we enter again this condition or this feeling of death, because this is the time Jesus revealed his life inside us. And that which make difference. So Abraham need to learn this lesson, but he couldn't. It was weakness, and he went down. And when he went down, he started to think, let me protect my family. To protect my family, I say about Sarah, she is my sister. And what happened? The king of the place took her to get married to her. And it seems from the story, or if we read the life of Abraham, that Sarah was so beautiful. يعني that time she was almost 70 years ولا حاجة، مش كده يا ابونا بشوي؟ كانت almost 70 ولا حاجة. في الوقت ده بتاع أبي مالك ده. كانت 70, but so beautiful, so attractive that the man said, I want this woman for myself. What happened بقى؟ One need for us كده loudly, verse 3. حد يقرانا verse 3? We return back to Genesis 20, verse 3. Who read us loudly كده? Anyone read loudly? Read حبيبتي.
But God came to Abimelech in a dream by night and said to him, "Indeed, you are a dead man because of the woman whom you have taken, for she is a man's wife."
Continue سكر.
But Abimelech had not come near her, and he said, "Lord, will you slay a righteous nation also? Did he not say to me, 'She is my sister'? And she, even she herself said, 'He is my brother.' In the integrity of my heart and innocence of my hands I have done this." And God said to him in a dream,
A moment, سكر, thank you. And he said to Abimelech, the Lord, in a vision, in a dream, I don't know what's happening, that you will be killed. Why? He said, because she took a woman who is the wife of the man, of the holy man. Abimelech answered, the Lord said, but he didn't tell me. And even it appeared from the story, she insists that Abraham is her brother, not the husband. And the Lord said, for this reason I stop you to touch her. The first point, ignorance is not excuse for sin. Why am I saying that? Devil never fight us when we are up. Devil, what devil is doing? What happened with Joseph? Can you remember what happened with Joseph? When the devil fought Joseph to defeat him, how the war against Joseph was very strong? How that happened? Mean explain to me. Was it possible to Joseph to be defeated or not? Yes or no? How many agree yes? Was it possible or not? Who say no? The one who said yes, about 5 hands only from all the church. The rest no comment. High spirituality of the rest of the group. They didn't want to tell me about inspiration. So it is yes or no, but if there is third answer, that will be amazing. One of the 7 sacraments of the church. It is okay. But if yes, why it was yes that he was so much vulnerable to fall down? How? Who can answer me? ازاي كان ممكن يقع? How that happened? Who can tell me? Yes.
She's the master's wife.
Yes.
And he's in the house.
Yes.
In front of her. So
Yes, he's alone. He is, and she keep on. عارف, I can resist. I can say no once. I can say no 5 times. I can say no for 10 times. But when temptation is continuous, and when temptation coming like a mighty wind against me, when I'm not ready for it, and it comes in the most weakest point, which is the emotion. It comes with the most hardest way that she is my mistress and she can dismiss me. When it comes to me, when I have no joy in my life, and devil say to me, that is the greatest joy you are searching for. To say no or to get victory is very hard. I was taking confession of some people from the groups before I come here, and everyone was telling to me, the problem, Sayyidina, I come to Africa, or I am in the service. I will be lifted up, I will be strong, I will say never. I keep myself holy. Till the time of temptation, till I feel lonely, till I feel I am in temptation only. And that is the time I can't say no. I find at the end I'm defeated. And that is the hardest time of temptation. But how Joseph could get victory? How? If everything say he should fall down. Anyone, I'm saying honestly, any one of us, like humbly, if he would be, had been in the place of Joseph, he would fall down. Is that true or not? How could he say, no, I can't make it, I will never make it, I will never go down? But how? From where he got power? There's no angels to appear to him. No revelation of God like Abraham here. But how could he say no? Who can tell me? How? Because we need the same secret. Yes, it's okay. Very good. Give her big, big hand. Yes. He kept himself in the presence. As again, the same answer of St. Paul. He kept himself in the presence of God. عشان كده nothing could defeat him. Keep yourself in that presence. Say always, like what David said, the Lord is always ahead of me. الرب أمامي في كل حين. الإنجليش بتاعها.
Before me at all times.
الرب أمامي في كل حين لأنه عن يميني فلا أتزعزع. God always ahead of me. I can't be shaken. Keep yourself in that presence. Like what St. Paul did. Not me. I don't want me. I don't claim that I'm strong. I am weak. I'm nothing. But God always is with me. He said once, I went to Ephesus and their lions fought me, but the Lord was there to hold my hand and lift me up. The Lord is not went there to against St. Paul, well, but he kept the Lord with him. I assume before he went there, he said, Lord, you always warn me that temptation, problems are facing me. I take you with me. I will not go without you. And he holds the Lord by hand like that. And when he went there, and lions and temptation, war was there, what happened? The Lord could lift him up, like happened with Joseph. Abraham lost the presence. Many times when there is no revelation, when I'm not like constant in my reading, spiritual reading in my prayers, I go down. And when temptation comes, I go down with it. But the Lord is saying to every one of us, negligence is not excuse for sin. I can say, Lord, but you know that nowadays I'm down, I am weak. God will say to me, why you are weak? Why you are negligent? Why not hold my hand? Why not to put me with you? And all of us for long generation, for long years, we have been defeated by devil. And you know by heart that alone I can't resist any temptation. So why not to hold the hand of the Lord always? Why not to trust him always? Why not to cry to him always? Why not to say, Lord, you are with me? And that I can't enter any temptation. Or when temptation comes, I find more stronger presence, more stronger power and help waiting me. First, he said to him, you will be killed. He said, but I don't know. He said, there is no excuse for your ignorance. Sin is sin with the Lord. If you know that you are weak, if you know that you are ignorant, why not hold me? Why not ask my advice? And I will like give you power. First is that. Second, what he said to him? بص كده. قال له what can I do? بص كده. Verse again, verse 7.
Now therefore restore the man's wife, for he is a prophet, and he will pray for you, and you shall live. But if you do not restore her, know that you shall surely die, you and all who are yours.
He said, look, ignorance not excuse. The end of sin is this. Thirdly, you should not say, I'm not happy. كتير ناس يقول لي, Sayyidina, I'm not happy what I did. Sayyidina, I regret what I did. It's not enough. He said, you should return back the woman to the man. It needs us. When I find temptation very strong, when I find myself defeated, I need to kneel down and say, Lord, I admit I'm negligent, I'm lazy nowadays, I'm no more consistent in my spiritual life, I'm coming back to you. I am yours. I will never accept other things, otherwise than to return back to you. Return the woman back to the man, because he is a prophet to pray for you. But is that true that Abraham that time was a prophet? Yes or no? Was he a prophet or not? إيه رأيكم؟ How many agree that he was a prophet? Huh?
Fallen prophet.
Falling prophet, or a sleepy prophet, or negligent prophet. Is that true or not? But God didn't say that. He said he is a prophet. طب why the Lord covers the mistake of Abraham here? إيه رأيكم? Why not God to use that and say, Abraham, you betrayed me and you went down? Okay, يلا, take it. It is consequence of your sin. مش you are negligent. مش you left all your weapons and you are no more like armor with all the full armor of God. Okay, you will see what happened in your life. Why not the Lord allow Abraham to be defeated for his negligence and weakness? Why? He was negligent. He was negligent or not? When he said she is my sister, he was a liar, and that dishonors the name of the Lord. Why not the Lord allow him to drink from the same cup he was offering to others? Why? What do you think? The question another way: should the Lord defend us when we are weak and down or not? Yes or no? Who agree yes? He agree no. Why no? He doesn't. Tapu say yes.
Because that's what we would do for our kids. Like that's what I would do for my son, and that's what God does for us, his kids.
Because we are children of God. God knows that we are vulnerable always to be weak. God knows that this old nature tended to go down. God knows that nothing is spiritual in this old nature. So when we go down, what the Lord does always, He kneels down to carry us up. He said a beautiful word in the book of Jeremiah about His dealing with His people. He said, I know that you are weak, and I know that you have like returned it back to the idols, but I am for you always kneeling down to carry you. I want to tell you something. The image used by God here is a beautiful image to show how much God loves us, how much God treasures us. The image here, طبعا أنا ما أعرفش how many of you could see camels in your life. You know, to ride a camel, how can you ride a camel? Camel is very big and very high like that. To ride a camel, how is that possible? Yes, Jennifer can tell us. This is the same image used by God. God was saying to His people, to us tonight, because I know that you go down, I made myself like a camel. I went down that I can carry you up. Is that beautiful? In time of weakness, in time when we forget the Lord, in time when the honor of the name, the honoring the name of the Lord is not there in our heart, God go down and honor us and love us. That's very strange. God, I am weak and I commit lying and I am dishonoring the Lord, the name of the Lord, and the Lord says about me, I am His prophet, I am His son, and He defend me and He fight for me. The time I couldn't fight His name, like what happened with St. Peter when he could deny the Lord. What the Lord did? Did He deny Peter also? Did He punish Peter for his denial? What He did? He went especially, appeared to him after resurrection to give him extra power. And that is the love. That is, يعني, believe me, when I remember, when I meditate in my life in the past, I couldn't believe how the love of the Lord is amazing. How always, when we are down, He is down to carry us. When we are dry, He is living water for us. When we have empty boat, He is waiting us ashore to fill the boat by fish. And when we are failing, He is there to motivate us and lift us up. Amazing, God, amazing. When he said about himself, I am the good shepherd who is willing to lay my life for the sheep, that is a true story. It's not some beautiful promises. We say it when we are up. You will discover when you are down how the good shepherd is willing always to lay his life for you, to put you up. He said to Abimelech, Abraham is a prophet, but he's not a prophet. He's a liar. He's a denial person. He went down, Lord, and he is behind all this problem. Who creates the problem is he, not us. But God said, no, that's not true. He's a prophet. Not only a prophet, he is a man of prayer. If he would pray for you, you would be healed. Look how the Lord look at us. How the Lord treasure us. How much he loves us. How much he never deliver us to our enemies. You know, this is one of the best words used by David when he remembered dealings of the Lord with him. All his life he said, never deliver us to our enemies, even when we are weak and down. Always he treasure us. I can deny him. I can betray him. I can be not faithful to him. I can forget my call. I can be foolish person in my dealings. But the Lord is always faithful, loving, and caring. It is like a covenant of love between us and him. Do you have this covenant of love between you and Jesus or not? Do you have it or not? Do you think that this covenant can protect you or not? How much you believe that if even you are down, if even devil is like defeating you, God still loves you and he is defending you and he will lift you up. That's what happened with Abraham. He said, he is my prophet. He is my prophet. He made that about the mistake of Abraham. I can't see him lying. I can't see him going down. I can see he is my best son. He is my prophet. You know that in the Bible 3 times God said about Abraham, he is my best friend. He's my dear friend. مش عارف ايه الانجليش word, very intimate friend, ما اعرفش what's that. عارفين بالفرنش زي مون امي كده حاجه مش عارف ايه دي بقى. يعني عارفين لما يبقوا اتنين لما يقول لك انتيم, his انتيم. God ايه؟ intimate friend. God said 3 times about Abraham that he is my intimate friend. So he can't. He wants you to be his intimate friend. That he never deny you or betray you, or even when you betray him, or he forsake you, as St. Paul said in Hebrews 12. And he said, let him to pray for you, that you can be saved. And what happened after that? And the Lord said to Abimelech, for this reason, I didn't allow you to touch the woman. What was the answer of Abimelech in verse 5? He said, I did it with a peaceful heart, with a pure hand. But when he went to Abraham and asked him, why you did that? What was the answer of Abraham? I don't want to hear this answer. Look كده, when Abimelech went to Abraham and said to him in verse 9, why you did like that with me? What bad I did against you that you did that? What was the answer of Abraham? Verse 11, want to read for us كده? What was the answer of Abraham? Read it, Sukkar.
And Abraham said, because I thought, surely the fear of God is not in this place, and they will kill me on account of my wife. But indeed she is truly my sister. She is the daughter of my father, but not the daughter of my mother, and she became my wife.
Is that true? The fear of the Lord was not there? Many people, when they come to America here, first thing they put off the clothes of the righteous person and say, because now I'm in America, it doesn't need me to wear that clothes here. Maybe it was in Egypt, but not here. Abraham tried to do that. He said, no fear of God here, so let me lie and say like that. But was the fear of the Lord there or not? Who was fearing the Lord more, Abimelech or Abraham? Which one? What do you think? Who was fearing the Lord more, Abimelech or Abraham in the story? Is that judge us as the children of God? And sometimes the people of the world fear the Lord and love the Lord much more than us who confess that we love the Lord and we are His servants and we are His followers and He is intimate to us. But actually, our behaviors, our words, our deeds betray us when we say that. Which that is shameful or not? That's bad or not? He said, I said the fear of the Lord is not here. But the fear of the Lord was there. And Abimelech, who was worshipping idols, was fearing the Lord much more than Abraham, who claims that he is the best friend of the Lord. And that shows us something very important in our spiritual life. When we are children of God, when we enter a new challenge, when we will go to a place where we are afraid that we'll be intimidated there, we should have the lesson that the grace is there, not the law, to save us. Many times, before the Lord sent us to a place, He sent ahead of us His angel. I feel when He said about John the Baptist, I send my angel before you to prepare the way for you. Believe me, many areas, many conditions, when we go, we are so panicked and we say, I'm so panicked. I don't know what would happen. I don't know what would happen to me when I go there. And you go there to find the Lord has prepared everything for you. So faithful, so loving. Before Abraham went there, the Lord sent His fear there to protect him. He sent His angels there, so not to allow the man to be killed and the wife taken from him. And that's what the Lord is doing with us. All of this with us and our challenges. شوف كده, if Abraham learned the lesson of St. Paul and say, I don't want to think for myself. I don't want to decide for myself. Let the Lord think for me. I trust the Lord, not myself. Would that happen? Would that happen? It never happened. But when you start to think and say the fear of the Lord is not there, let me lie and say she is my sister, the problems happen. The same like you remember in the beginning of the life of Abraham when he went down to Egypt, the same problem. He said, I'm fearing that Pharaoh will kill me and take the wife and say she is my sister. The same problem again. But Abraham never learned the lesson. But also we never learn the lesson. We repeat the same mistakes or not. We repeat the same mistakes or not. Always depend upon ourselves. Always think for ourselves. Always decide for ourselves. Always assume things and we decide to work or to act according to our fears and all our worries. At the end, we feel failure and we fail the name of the Lord. And the Lord prepared everything. He said to him, I assume that the fear of the Lord is not here. But the fear of the Lord was there. Because the Lord loves us. Because the Lord promised us, even in this valley of shadow of death, He is there with us. Shall we fear? Shall we depend upon ourselves? Shall we allow our fears, our worries to lead our actions or our decisions? Or we trust the Lord? Believe me, all the time I meet giant people like fathers here who decided I never sing. I never decide. But rather I trust the Lord. And when fears are there, when worries are there, he said, I don't want to sing or I don't want to decide. I want to only trust the Lord. And this is the time the miracles of the Lord appear to us and reveal to us. And after that, the man said a painful word for Sarah here. This is painful word. بص كده قال لها ايه? He returned back to Abraham. But بص كده, and in verse Verse 16, one read for us, كده. It is like rebuking words for Abraham. What he said, Abimelech, in verse 16.
Then to Sarah he said, Behold, I have given your brother 1,000 pieces of silver. Indeed, this vindicates you before all who are with you and before everybody. Thus she was rebuked.
He said to him, look, I give you this money for the mistake of your husband. Look, how is the fear of the Lord in the heart of the man? Abraham said, fear of the Lord is not there, let me lie, and let me compromise, and let me do like that. We call it in Africa kombi kombi. Kombi kombi يعني الواحد يقعد كده compromising ويعمل manipulating things. And he made it kombi kombi like that, Abraham. But what was the answer of the Lord? He defended him. And the man, what he did? He gave gift for Sarah and say, let your husband learn the lesson that I have the fear of the Lord in my heart. And they returned it back, Sarah to Abraham. But at the end, we learned the lesson. Which type of life we want to choose for ourselves? To depend upon our mind, our old nature, or depend upon the Lord? Now we are all the time, you will be facing the same challenges like what Abraham is facing. How you want to deal with these challenges, with these problems? Life is not easy like the past. You will find lions waiting you everywhere. How is it possible to face lions and defeat them? How is to be panic, is to be weak, to lie like Abraham, or to make things like manipulation, or what? Or to crucify yourself and say, Jesus, everywhere I'm taking you with me. Everywhere victory is waiting for me. Yes, the Spirit say to me that opposition problem is there, but also you confirm to me that everywhere I will find you, so I never fear. And this power of resurrection will be with me. And the same power which could raise Jesus from death will raise me, will make me to trample all the challenges, all the problems. At the end, I'm risen with you. I'm up, and all the problems under my feet. Which one, which type of life you want for yourself? It is your own decision. Will you compromise because the evils is everywhere? Will you go down because people around you are down? Or you'll be always up and say, God sent me not to make darkness to enter my life, but to carry light to this area. Believe me, when I was coming to you here, I was reading the story of Abraham with Lot. And God sent me an article, make me to cry in the airplane, when I was about how the righteous people keep the world, and how the wicked people are grateful to the righteous people who are interceding for them, who are keeping the world from being corrupted by evil. And that shows us that we have mission in the world. When we find evil in Sodom, not to be fearful, not to be like them, like what happened with Lot, but I have the power to intercede. And I have the power that if we are 5, 6 people praying for Sodom and righteous in Sodom, God will spare the city for us. So will we keep ourselves up to keep the world? Will we keep the name of the Lord honor in our life? Will we keep the same resurrection of the life of the world to be in our life, that we keep the world, or we imitate the world? And because wickedness is there and evil is there, we go down like them and say, everyone make it, or everyone do it. Why not me? Which one? That is your life. But God expects you. God expected that this group, every 5 of them, to be in a place to be light, to be salt, to be a people who left the area, who intercede, who change the areas here. And as Abraham could change the life of Abimelech, and the righteous people went everywhere to change. They said about St. Paul, this is the man who could turn the world upside down. How many of us want to turn the area upside down? Actually, it is the opposite. Take them from down to up. How many of us want, by the power, by the grace of God, by the unlimited power of resurrection, to go to this place and say, I will lift him up. My work is to lift this place. I was once, I will tell you a story. I think I said it to you before, but let me say it again. I have a friend in Montreal, and he was telling me a very strange story happened there. One of the guys there, he's Canadian guy, and he was away from the Lord. He was desperate, and he has problem at home and everywhere problems. And he decided, I need to end my life. And desperately he knelt down and, Lord, I want to kill myself. Give me power to kill myself. And when he was asking the Lord to help him to kill himself, the Lord let his light to shine in his heart. And he was so happy, so strong, that about 2 o'clock in the morning, he opened his email and sent to all the big guys in IBM there in Canada, in his company, telling them what happened with him, and say, you need Jesus, guys. And if you know Jesus, he will do in your life like what happened in my life. And next day he went to job. And the head of the HR brought him and said, thank you for your email, and thank you, you inspire us, and a long introduction, and then said, but we are in the work here. This is spiritual or sharing, can do it in the church, but not in the company. But we are grateful to you, but please don't do it again. But the man didn't believe in that, or didn't obey that. And they kept on asking, we need to have a spiritual meeting or a prayer meeting in the company. And they were like torn between two things. Will they obey him or no? But they discover the boy has a great power of motivation others, lift up many people through his emails, through his motivation. So they said, okay, let us allow him to have during lunch a prayer meeting. But they discovered that everyone go to this prayer meeting, his word, his achievement is much greater than others. So they made the man head of his department. And the man kept on working till one day the COO of IBM in Montreal decided to make a retreat for all the COO of other companies to speak about what happened from this boy and how that man could change the atmosphere inside IBM. You know that in morals, Canada is very low, but the CEO of IBM discovered many other CEOs want to join that retreat. And that man not only could change all his company, but different companies, and everyone want to imitate what happened, what the experience of this man. God sent a man to change full city, which is full of evils. Do you believe that God won't send you or not? If the power of the Lord was you, are you visionary to say, God, put me in this place to change it? Or you are compromising like Abraham here and go down and say, no, let me compromise to survive, to get my job, not to fire me. Let me deny my cross. Let to keep my Christ at home or at the church here or in my heart. This is up to you. But decide to enter a challenge for the Lord and say, Lord, I want to go there. I am here because you have mission for me. And I never give up. I will pray for my company. I will pray that you use me, Lord. At the end, the place where you are will be grateful to you because you will be the light of this place. May the Lord bless all of us. In time, everyone complaining about darkness and no fear of the Lord, to remember that we have the Lord who is source of fear. And God is with us. And if God is with us, who will be against us? Or who can resist us? The power inside us will change the world. And everyone will be ambassador of Jesus in the place where he are. And where he can change and make the fear of the Lord everywhere for the Lord. Do you want to do that or not? How many want to be like كده Abraham in his witness, not in his going down, and say, I will never go down again. I'll be always witness shining for them. How many of us want to be like that? Let us كده stand up كده. Let us stand up. Let us close our eyes كده. Let us see the power of God with us. Let us see that God wants me to be a witness, not compromising. Let us trust that we have more than enough power to change the world. We are salt, we are light. We'll never be lower than that. And God sent us the world to keep its fear there, to keep everyone loving Jesus, worshiping Jesus. Let's pray for that.